Welcome to Jimpressions. I am going to do a review on a tool set that's quite old here, and this is a little bit different from what I usually do. As you might be aware, if you're one of my subscribers or followers, I really love tools, the history of them. There's something about a tool. It just lasts so many years. And I just love tools. So I wanted to talk about a set of tools that is important to me, is sentimental to me. My dad had these that he used to use. He passed away about 9 years ago now. He left these to me. They were his dad's, my grandpa, and likely his dad's, my great grandpa. I don't know for sure because technically my great grandpa could have bought this set when he was 10 years old. It's just not very likely. So it was probably his dad's, as most 10-year-olds don't have a set of tools here. But impossible to know for sure. But this dates back to 1931. These are let me grab one of them to show you, the Superrench, the Williams Superrench. This particular kit is pretty interesting because if you're familiar with the Williams brand, and by the way, you see that they misspelled Superwrench. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. I'm curious. However, it likely was not. But Williams has been around since 1882. It was originally established Williams and Diamond in Queens, New York. James Williams and Matthew Diamond. And by the way, if you look on these tools, you will see, let me get a larger one. Is this any larger? Well, this one's got it in a slightly different place because this one's the 20 series, the 2000 series. This one's the 2000 series, so they put it a little differently on here, where it says Williams made USA with a little W in a diamond. The rest of these that are in a different series, as you can see, this one is stamped as an 1132. I'll talk about those in a minute here. But this diamond, as you can see, is just on the head of the opposite side that has a W inside of a diamond. And what I always thought when I saw that symbol there, since this company was originally founded by Williams and Diamond, the gentleman's last names, I thought that was Williams inside the diamond because Diamond was one of the founders. But there's more to the story. Some people say that's just a coincidence and that Williams created this symbol after their breakup. They were only with each other for a couple years in Queens. James Williams ended up taking the company and moving it to Brooklyn, New York in 1886. This particular set of tools is 1931. So they're still pre-war, pre-World War II tools, and they are still in the original brown case that they came in. Chrome, molybdenum, that's always a tongue twister. A lot of people just call it chromoly. That's what they were using back then. They invented the wrench that is the 15-degree offset. Where's an example of one? You know, you see them all the time now. That would be something like this one here from Proto Los Angeles Tool. That's not a review on this one. I have some other old tools out here for a different reason. I'm going through some of them to see what they are, looking into some history. I love to look at old wrenches to find out when were they made, who made them, who made them, a little bit of history behind some of those. And sometimes I really get stumped. This tool by Yamaha right here. I'm trying to find out some information on this. But anyway, that is not part of this review. I would like to really stick with talking a little bit about these super wrenches here because I think they're really cool. If you're aware, Williams Tool Company was sold to Snap-on in like 93 or 95 or something like that in the 90s. And they still exist. You know, they still operate under the Williams name, and they actually make tools both in the USA and in Taiwan, I believe. Snap-on knew that Williams was top-notch, top quality. They were the bomb back in the, or, you know, well, in the since the late 1800s, pre-World War II. I have never seen another set like this. I've searched on the websites. I'm wondering, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this review on YouTube, is I'm curious if anybody else out there has seen a set like this of 7 tools where 6 of them are this 1000 series, like this one's an 1124. That's how they mark their 3/8 wrench. So one thing about Williams in this time frame, they don't actually have a date code stamp on them like Snap-on does of most of their tools. So you have to kind of do some research and find out. For example, the diamond, is that on there? The diamond W? The W inside the diamond is often referred to by tool collectors as the diamond W. Does it have the diamond W logo on it? Yeah, if it does, then yeah, you probably got a collectible item. If it also has the chromoly, and if it's a super wrench. This is old. This is 95 years old now. So yeah, they date back to the 1800s. And it's really hard to find some of those wrenches that were made back in the 1800s. I don't have any. This right here is the oldest. These are the oldest tools that I own. I do hear that they're quite valuable, especially for tool collectors that would like to have an original pouch that they came in, and in very good condition. As you can see, they have a few scratches on them, but they are in very good condition for 95-year-old tools. And as you can see, these are in really good shape. And one way that you can tell that it's if a tool is in shape, a tool 95 years old, is can you read the model number 1122 on there? 1122 is the one that's the designation where you can kind of do some tracking. This one has the 1130 seconds opening. So if you have the 1122 wrench, that that tells you that it's an 11/32 wrench. What these are, by the way, this particular set is called a midget super wrench, ignition and electrical wrench set. And they developed this for mechanics to have a nice set of everything they need to do tune-ups and work on distributors on the older cars and generator coils, distributor points, ignition coils, and some of the other tight electrical brackets that they needed to work on. And they, back in the day when they started, producing cars and various electrical components and points and that type of thing, mechanics were saying, hey, it's really hard to get a wrench on this nut. And so it's my understanding that Williams developed this type of a wrench that they can use to get down in there and get on that nut or that bolt that they need to take off. So there's quite a bit of history behind the super wrench. I see a few other videos out there of people talking about the super wrenches. I think it's pretty cool to look at some of the history there. And by the way, I was going to mention this particular kit. Williams decided to put a 20 series wrench. This isn't some kind of a mistake where there was one missing, so somebody just grabbed another one just to stick another super wrench in here. This is what actually came with this kit back in 1931. And they put that in there on purpose because they needed it with this kit for certain distributors or something where you've got to take off one bolt and it's hard to get to, so they put it at this angle. And as soon as you can get that one off, you flip it around and there's a different bolt that's a different size, and you don't have to go searching for a different wrench. They made this wrench for convenience for the mechanics to work on those older distributors, those older vehicles. I would like to do more research and find out which vehicles had these two bolts. As you know, why did Williams invent this particular wrench with these two different sizes on them? Maybe there's an old mechanic out there listening to my YouTube video that has some insight on this particular wrench. This one's really interesting to me. 13/32 and 5/16 it looks like. It's really hard to read that because it didn't really look like a 1 in front of the 3. Uh, but anyway, from my research, this particular tool was included in the kit because they really needed the thin profile of this particular tool to get on a lot of the mid-century distributors, and they needed this to be in the kit because it kind of filled a gap of what mechanics needed back then to work on the distributors. And that's why Williams came up with this particular kit that's called the Midget Superrench Ignition and Electrical Wrench Set. It includes all 1000 series that you would need to work on those distributors, plus one of the 2000 series. This is stamped with a 2021, definitely not the year 2021, obviously. That was just the model code number for this particular wrench. And they needed to include this in this particular kit so that they would have everything that they need to work on the distributors from what I found out. And so I think that's really cool. By the way, I have actually used these on occasion when I really needed something to get on something tiny. I am very careful with it. I'm not going to put a pair of vice grips on here and risk snapping something or marring it up or anything like that. I want these to be very well taken care of, and leave these to my son someday, and just to keep them in the family. Let me know what you think. Are you familiar with the Superrench? Did you search for my video looking for Superrench videos because you possibly have a set of these? I think this is something that's just highly sentimental to a lot of people. Tools that they get from their dad and that kind of thing. And I just think it's great to just look at them, talk about them, what they were used for, what companies made them, where they have good quality, that type of thing. I think it's fun to do the research and find out where are some of these tools made. Do you ever look at just some of your really old tools? Electrolyte that's bent like this. Why did they bend it? Manifold. It says right on there to get to the starter and manifold bolt. Starter and manifold, 7000 series. This particular video isn't a review on this or any of these other wrenches, but I do plan on doing some quick reviews on some of these other wrenches. I don't want this video to be really long, but I found out some really interesting things about some of these old wrenches, and I just like to talk about those and share that information here in case anybody else is interested in it, because I think there's a lot of tool collectors out there that are really interested in some of these old kits, some of these old tools. I think it's really interesting to look at the original Williams company, even though they still make Williams tools now in a mass production kind of way. Well, they did back then too. It's just a different kind of mass production. Their facility in Buffalo, New York, where they moved there in 1914, it employed hundreds of workers. And wouldn't it be fun to go back in time and see them making these tools in 1914 and through the 30s and 40s, that kind of thing? Well, it would be, but we can't do that. So the best we can do is a YouTube video talking about them and how cool they are. So anyway, I just thought I would. I guess I'm showing them off. I'm just proud of them. I don't know if I'm proud of them. They're just real sentimental to me. My great grandpa probably worked on a distributor with these wrenches, and wow, that's sentimental to me. My dad used these for various things. They are used. You can tell that some of them have some signs of wear. Obviously, for a 95-year-old tool, they are in very, very good condition. Oh, this is the one. I noticed on this one here, there's a burr right here. Right there, there's a little burr where my dad or my grandpa or my great-grandpa got a little tight on something. Oh, this one here, this one to me looks in pristine condition. I just really liked this Williams set that they call the Midget Superrench set. I don't know where they come up with that name, Midget Superrench set. That's what they called it. I guess just since they're small, these are smaller wrenches for getting into tight places and that type of thing. And then the snap still works on this thing. Yeah, it's a little beat up, and apparently there's a letter that was supposed to be on here. In doing my research, there's supposed to be a letter, I think it's a W, that they put on this somewhere. I don't know if it was up here or where it was. I was really curious if anybody else has this brown pouch. I don't know why I'm curious, but I am. I'm curious what this used to look like when it was brand new. But there it is. There is the Midget Superrench ignition and electrical wrench set that I am very impressed with, and just thought I'd do a quick video on. So what do you think? Do you have something like this? If you do, I hope you comment below and maybe even send a picture of them, especially if you have the original pouch that they came with. But even if not, even if you have the Superrenches of this 1000 series, or even the 2000 series, these are really cool too. If you have some of these old Superrenches, I would love to see pictures of them, and especially, like I said, pictures of them in their original kit that they marketed and sold. Thank you for watching my video about the Williams Superrench kit. Have a great day, everyone.